celebrated my 40th birthday, and we had plans to dine at a fancy eatery by 7 p.m. Knowing it takes roughly 20 minutes to get there, I aimed for a 6:30 p.m. departure to account for any traffic and to pick up my dad. My spouse, a 43-year-old male, chose to tinker with his car a short while before our departure. By 6:30, as the children and I were all set by the door, he was still at it, unchanged and not showered. Urging him to hurry didn't help. By 6:50, he was nowhere near ready, prompting me to head out without him. His tendency to lag behind isn't new. He's usually the last one prepped for outings. While normally a slight delay of about 10 minutes is manageable, my birthday dinner meant a lot to me, something I had eagerly anticipated for weeks. Waiting over 20 minutes felt like a joke, so I announced our departure and left to avoid losing our reservation, expecting we'd get there around 7:20. After calling the restaurant to inform them of our tardiness, we were fortunate to keep our reservation. However, my husband didn't appear at the dinner, and upon returning home, he expressed anger towards me. I voiced my frustration over his habitual lateness and disregard for others' time, pointing out he could have followed us there independently. While my father backed my decision, our kids were disheartened by his absence at the dinner. So, am I the a-hole here? Update: heartfelt thanks for the overwhelming support and guidance. Your advice has been a beacon during these times. Here's an update on recent events following my initial post. Last week, coinciding with my previous update, my eldest participated in a school football match. Committed to no longer waiting for my husband's readiness, we left on schedule at 5 p.m., sans him. He missed the game, where our youngest and I cheered on my eldest, who scored, leading his team to victory. The following weekend, while catching up with friends over lunch, my sons had a friend's birthday party. My husband had the responsibility of taking them, as my engagement was earlier. Despite reminders, including a strategic time adjustment I adopted from your suggestions, they were still at risk of arriving late. When 1:30 p.m. rolled around without their arrival at the party, concern from the birthday child's parent led me to discover my husband hadn't departed. Attempts to reach him failed, so I contacted my eldest, who, in distress, informed me of their dad's preoccupation with his car and his dismissive reaction to their urgency. Dropping everything, I rushed home to take them, arriving an hour late, to their and their friends' disappointment. This series of events has led me to a decisive moment. Your comments really made me think about my marriage and my husband's actions. I looked into some books he recommended and talked to my dad. I even talked to my kids about maybe not living with their dad anymore. They weren't thrilled, but they understood. They told me they were sometimes afraid of him. That broke my heart. I haven't been happy for a while, and neither have the kids. My husband has missed so many important things. He wasn't there for us when my mom passed away, which was really hard. I should have seen then that things weren't right. A couple of days ago, I told my husband I think we should split up. I showed him what I wrote before. I don't want to try fixing things. I just want to move on. I told him it's not good for any of us to keep living like this. He agreed to a divorce. He said he'd move out soon. Telling you all this feels like a big weight is off my shoulders. Thanks for being there for me. You've all been amazing. Thank you.